Hello, hello, hello. Here we are, back at it again. Again with the white vans. Damn, Daniel. This would be the kind of stuff I'd cut out if I actually edited these streams. I was just kind of skipping through these myself. But then I thought, if I'm just sat here in silence, fast forwarding, we might as well do it together. I did actually want to change Tracy Smothers's. Was he one of the Jason the Terribles? I had no idea that. Did want to change Tracy Smothers's picture. I like that one. Yeah, let's continue. I'm trying to do this less. Cato's returned, by the way. Ross Hart now lives in the Are we based in the Tri-State? Where would we see size? My guess would we would be based in New England. I think it just says your home region. We track progress. We have dipped quite a lot, to be fair. 77 across all, so like... as long as we don't fall much more. Achieve big size and also size 71 throughout Canada or Mexico. What is our size like in Canada or Mexico? Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Though it is going up. So maybe we'll get there in the end. Tito, yeah, you deserve the pay rise. The Wits, you can have 75%. Ray Stevens, I just like you, so you can be given the full thing. I realise when editing specifically... is this loud? It feels loud to me. It would quieten down now, wouldn't it? No, it looks fine. If anything, it seems like it should. Let's go for it. Oh, great song though. We'll put it to there. If it's I feel like I'm not loud, so maybe it is best here. I don't know. Someone can let me know. I'll turn it down for myself regardless. Yeah, I realise I say a lot. Or just nice. Is the Terminator mic awesome? No, it's Marcus Laurinaitis. Is Marcus Laurinaitis... if I check his personal details... so he's the other... so there's Johnny Ace and there's Marcus. Right. What's he doing? Just wrestling as the Terminator. I'm not against kind of just bringing him in on a written contract for a year. You know, I thought Animal would have been happy with that. Wait, are we WCW right now? Yes, that makes sense. Where is that decision? Contract negotiations, view, withdraw. Sorry, you cannot withdraw an offer while the decision screen is open. Hut. So just go down to the Terminator, negotiate, withdraw. Yes. Sorry. So the man gets his contract negotiation in the mail. There we go. Just on a written. It's 1 year. We'll put you in developmental for a little bit. See how you get on. Oh, he's joined All Japan. I was looking at that and I was like, who is Kanika Maximus? I realise now. Bambi's going all over the place. Bambi's feuding with Buddy Landell. Bambi's feuding with Jimmy D. New Japan extension rumours for El Samurai. Samu. I think they're heels. No. Afa. gain, I think, the heals. What did I put Fatu as? Heal. Yeah, that does make sense. If we do team, add the head shrinkers, or do we need to filter by inactive permanent unit, inactive unit? There they are. Save as a unit. Anyone else? Demolition? I forgot they were demolition. Haku and the Barbarian. High energy. Strike Force. The Colossal Connection. Who do we have that's inactive individuals? Heart Foundation. Mega Maniacs. The Mega Powers. The Ultimate Maniacs. Volkov and the Iron Sheik. That's fair. Let's just do active only. Perfect. Let's kind of carry on. I do have... So, actually, we've upgraded to PlayStation music from SNES. So I change it up, you know. I try to find one with games that I didn't think we'd get copyright struck for. Copyright stricken. Copyright striked. So hopefully this one seems fine. And it is an odd one. It seems like the Ape Escape music sends out a copyright strike, so you tell me what's going on. Oh, actually I did want to check something. Where is Fighting Network Rings? View roster. Roster. Your Murder, Andre. Brett Knops, Dolman. Okay, what? Alright. I'll remember that. Shortlist due, so I can check later. So I'm running a rings save independently. And I was just kind of nosing what talent they had. Willy Wilhelm, Willy Peters. I'm really getting into rings at the moment. I've been booking a save on my own. They're making money. What kind of... Are they just putting on their normal shows? I don't even know where I'd see... Events and TV. No, it's not that. They're making money and they're still small. Can I track their size? Track progress. So yeah, they are slowly going up. That's fair. What would they need to be medium? 59 in home region of Kanto plus 35 in a different one. Fair. Just nosing for my own ring save. Just nosing. Because I'm running a TV show called Fighting Network Rings, which runs about 3 to 4 fights on it. And then also the events. Quebec. Slick now resides in the Mid-South. But in that ring save, we are like bleeding money. Oh, is this a new week? No, same one. There we go. We can pick New England. Pick best option. Memorial Centre. Jimmy Garvin has taken Van Hammer under his wing. There's so many other wrestlers I wish he took under. Arn Anderson ran some drills. Scott Steiner has an idea for enhancing his character. So does Liger. So does Flamingo. The rumour mill went into overdrive after Nick Patrick and the Diamond Stud got in an argument. Dusty's been passing on tips to Dustin. Perfect. So Power Hour, just our auto booked show. Booked the whole kit and caboodle. I feel like I'm saying that a lot recently as well, and I have no idea why. Bill Casimir, he was in rings. Let's get those rings boys represent. Dude. At least I was starting to worry about the WCW storylines kind of going cold as well. So at least now that we've turned that off, that's one less thing to worry about. It is a shame we're going to be losing one of our major stars, but I mean, at least we're getting Jake. Which is odd that Jake's a major star in WWF, and it's just a star here. Whereas Lex is a major star here, and he's only well known in the WWF. So then we have Art Bar against Bill Kazmaier. Instead, let's do heel, men's. Is Bill... Oh, Bill's recognisable, so he can go against heel Jean Lejean. Cut a couple of minutes, stick Kazmaier over. Kazmaier looks great. I know he isn't very good. Marcus, Ivan, and Nikita. I know he isn't very good, but like he looks menacing. On Larry, Steve, I guess. Oh, who else are they feuding with? Larry, Greg, and Terry Taylor. Oh, off screen. Larry needs to be off screen, and so does Greg. Perfect, that looks fine. Z-Man against Terry Taylor. Let's stick the bit Taylor-made man over. Oh, I need to book 4 more minutes. Video featuring Rick and Scott. It seems like we're doing the same angles every time. Maybe I need to change that up a bit. So Rick. Subjective video. Vinny Vegas against Van Hammer. Let's stick Vinny Vegas over. Got an interview with Barry Windham. He can cut that on, I think, Zbyszko. Is that who he's feuding with? I think so, yeah. And then Mr. Hughes against Gigante. It's an awful match. Let's just do heel, men. Let's stick Vader against him. We need to get Vader on a bit more of a win streak. Let's auto book an angle. We got an interview with Tully. Alright, fair enough. And auto book a match. Like a 2v2 between recognisable and unimportant. And that can go in the main event of... You know what? Let's do Jushin and Billy Robinson isn't available. Let's do Jushin and Dean against heels Mr. Hughes and George South. I mean, I like George South, but that's a fine match. Max of 5 minutes, that's fine. Jushin can go over. Job's a good one. Oh, looks good. Taking up 61 minutes. How did I do my maths wrong there then? 64. The fans are expecting a show which is about 65% matches. I'm currently at 66, so all is fine. If we check stored creative idea, Jushin's is risky, so I wouldn't bother doing that. Scott's is a near certainty, and Flamingo's is risky. Let's just do Scott's then. I don't know why you'd ever do one. I guess the extremely risky ones have more chance of paying off. The success, there you go. Bit more momentum. Happy. Let's run it. So the WCW Power Hour opening. In a terrible match, Kazmaier defeated Jean Lejean in 3:46 by pinfall. We got an interview with Marcus, Ivan, and Nikita. Terry Taylor defeated the Z-Man in 7:01 by pinfall with a flying forearm smash. Video featuring Rick and Scott Steiner. Vinny Vegas defeated Van Hammer in 6:04 with Snake Eyes. Got an interview with Barry Windham. Big Van Vader has a hot new move. He's 75, man, he needs to be further up. Defeated El Gigante in 8:39 with a Vader bomb. 5-minute Tully promo. And then a bout which had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Jushin and Malenko defeated South and Hughes when Jushin pinned George South with a shooting star press. Nice. Justin Thunder Liger. So WCW Saturday night, now that we know it's changed its name, life's a whole lot easier. Oh, and not even a single locker room incident. Oh. I guess as usual, let's do the matches first. Well, it's not as usual, but let's do the matches first. So we can do, let's do Ron Simmons against Mr. Hughes. Is this the right one? Who's JT Southern? Oh, JT Southern. Just both wild. JT Southern. Got his big break in WCW, where he started a feud against Van Hammer. In March '92, which I guess we're in now, he brought his friend Scotty Flamingo as his sidekick. Southern is now retired from wrestling altogether, but he's instead made a successful career in racing vintage and post-vintage motorcycles across America. Oh, all around he seems like a nice guy. He was humiliated in Japan in the UWF. Made his debut against Takada, but was dismissed by one commentator as pretty but ineffective. He lost badly. In a particularly one-sided fight, Southern showed so little fighting spirit that his opponent, Kazuo Yamazaki, was enraged by what he saw as Southern's cowardice. The commentators noted that as a result, Yamazaki began treating Southern with contempt and total lack of respect, and proceeded to humiliate him by inflicting upon him several indignities, which fellow fighters are normally spared from. He showboated, grabbed Southern's legs only to push him down onto his backside, grinded Southern's face into an armpit and later kicked him in the face. His legs suffered severe bruising, and Southern decided enough was enough and quit the UWFI after suffering 4 straight losses. Instead, I think, just for this gimmick and eventually repurpose him, I might do this as Chris Jericho. Fade him out, obviously different character, changed. He'll do this as Lionheart. Kind of doing his rockstar gimmick. All's good. Perfect. So, I guess 4 minutes, quick Ron Simmons squash. We then have, I assume, what is Lionheart? Heel, that's fine. Van Hammer. We can actually do this feud, to be fair. Van Hammer's a face, that makes sense. Let's have Lionheart beat face, men. Anyone here? You can beat Z-Man. 4 minutes, Lionheart goes over. Z-Man can complain. And then it is Tom Zenk and Bagwell winning a squash match, but for us it is the team of Ivan and Bagwell. They can take on heel males. Tommy Rich and George South. I'm thinking of at least using the people I like. 1 second. Hello. So sorry about that. Work. You know, life is. Stuff happens. Yeah, sorry. That did take like 12 minutes, so I can only apologise. I mean, at least you know this will be cut out from... It should be cut out from the VOD. So I apologise. Yes, said that. Sweating now. Don't like phone calls. Let's stick Bagwell over. Jobs are good. I want to know at which point he goes from Marcus Bagwell to Buff. We then have Brad Armstrong defeat Greg Sawyer. Where does it say anything like that? Pre-tape stuff from Scotty Flamingo. Stinger's interview. Oh, these are all the angles. I guess nothing happens. I guess just Brad Armstrong defeats Greg Sawyer. Instead, should we have... We don't have Billy... Oh, we do have Billy Robinson. He can defeat heel, male... Steve Armstrong. I don't care. Match history. Never happened. A quick 4-minuter. Stick Billy Robinson over. Terry Taylor and Greg Valentine defeat Junkyard Dog and PN News. Speaking of JYD, I don't want to do surgery. He's going to be out till February 1993. Terry Funk is back in September, which is sad. Oh, fucking Nikita does not like Van Hammer. So let's continue. Terry and Greg, the Dream Team, the Heartstoppers. Valentine and Taylor can defeat Face, Male, Gigante, and Josh, the big boys. 5 minutes, stick Terry Taylor over, get that momentum back up. The belts don't need to be on the line. Dustin defeats John Peterson. I don't even know if someone like John Peterson would be in this mod. Let's put Dustin over heel, men. Is there anyone here? Not really. Stick him over Bob Cook. Again, is this match? No. It's a day for firsts. Dustin. We then have Steve Austin defeating John Collins. Not this is a squash match show and day half. Just did nothing but fumble through that. Yeah, Steve Austin against Face, men. Not necessarily anyone here. Stick him against Tim. See he has Tony Sinclair. Let's take Tony Sinclair out of that. The reason I put him in that stable, as much as I do like Tony Sinclair, stable. I only put him in it because he was teaming with Rick Rude, I believe, in Japan. Save stable. But it's I wasn't able to turn him face. So the main event comes on. Rick pins Zbyszko off the top rope bulldog. Lariat collide with Medusa to lead to the finish. I think it's the Steiners defeating Eaton and Zbyszko. For some reason I read that as like a tag team they defeated the tag team champions Eaton and Zbyszko. I was like, shit, the Steiners won the title. So I didn't even swear. Bobby Eaton and Larry. Sorry, I had that 12-minute phone call and now I'm sweating beyond belief. 15-minute. Stick Scott over, make it storytelling. Nice. It's botched interference by Medusa on Zbyszko. Oh, almost ran it. So footage from WCW Pro is shown, where Steamboat choked Rick Rude with a strap over the top rope. Maybe we need to be booking Pro instead of main event. So 3 minutes. It is just Ricky Steamboat and Rick Rude. Perfect. We need a WCW Saturday night opening. Quick 3-minuter hype pre-taped video. Everyone's going in it. Everyone. But not Jake Roberts yet. Nice. Stick that in. Simmons cuts a promo regarding the situation, saying he wishes Sting luck, but no Sting. So Sting against... I don't know what we've been missing, but Sting against Vader is now the storyline. So regarding Sting versus Vader, saying he wishes Sting luck, but no Sting's got a battle his hands. So 3 minutes, storyline, Ron Simmons. Even though I knew I had to change it, I still pressed it. Regarding Big Van and Sting. So this big booty hosses, we can remove this. The body versus Stinger. We can keep Lex in, but now it's Big Van. And it's add Ron. I guess it's supporting. Perfect. We can put that here. I do also want to fit in a squash match, since if we're going to have Vader beating people, let's have Vader take on face, male, Nikita. Quick, 4 minutes, stick Vader over. I need to have him beat a lot of people very quickly. Is what I'm saying. Lionheart puts a promo saying that I can play guitar and wrestle as well. In his opinion, Van Hammond can't do either of them and will show him that in the ring. Sorry. Add storyline, WCW Lionheart. That's Lionheart, Scotty Flamingo, and not Big Van Vader, Van Hammer. I would also, if possible, let's just put all these matches down. Like to stick a Van Hammer squash in. Yeah, no. Van Hammer can beat heel Vinny Vegas. Vinny Vegas can do with the loss. 2 minutes. Van Hammer. Let's make it a. This needs to be flash pinfall. Alright, instead of Vinny Vegas, he can beat heel male Pat Rose. Boop, boop. 1 minute. Van Hammer to beat the victor. That can go here, I guess. Angle. Lionheart. Cuts a promo. That's just Lionheart. Instead of in his opinion. Sorry, I'm all over the place now. Lionheart says that he can play the guitar and wrestle as well. Van Hammer can't do either of them. 2 minutes. Let's have Lionheart putting a promo on Van Hammer. Remove, make him off screen. Perfect. WCW magazine update segment. We see footage from main event, which saw Johnny B. Bad wrestle Richard Martin. Bad used the rope for leverage to win. Fred Armstrong lost his match after sending Tracy Smothers over the top. The winners of Smothers vs Bad will get a shot against Bad won following a top rope sunset flip. Big Van Vader tells Sting he doesn't fear any man and doesn't feel pain. He's going to make Sting feel pain. Big Van Vader tells Sting he doesn't fear any man and doesn't feel pain. He's going to make Sting feel pain. That's pretty cool from Vader, if I'm honest. So, Big Van Vader cutting a promo on Sting. 2 minutes. I felt this is going to be a squash for time, this show. That here. Ooh. Bischoff conducted an interview with Nikita. Bischoff wants to know what Nikita's motivation was when he returned to WCW during the press conference. Kozlov says that he's been asking a lot of questions. Kozlov wants to talk to one man and have a heart-to-heart conversation. Doesn't reveal who he's talking about. Back to the footage from WCW Pro that involved Steamboat and Rude. Steamboat was competing in a singles match against Anderson before Rude got involved. Dangerously was flipped into the ring and Steamboat delivered an atomic drop. That brought out Rude with a chair. He tried to hit Steamboat but the referee stopped him. Rude still saved Dangerously and choked Steamboat with a strap. Steamboat then turned the table and choked Rude. If I just do footage of Rude saving dangerously and choking Steamboat with the strap. And then Steamboat turning the tables and choking Rude. Like that. 2 minutes. Hartley, Rude, and Ricky Steamboat. Perfect. That can go here. Rick Rude and Paul Lee can't cut a promo. Dangerously says that Rick Rude is going to fall. Sorry, that Ricky Steamboat is going to fall for Rick Rude's trap. Rude notes that things don't always end up the way they planned. Rude admits that he can't say things will come out the way he wants them to. There is another plan in place for Rude and Dangerously. Perfect. Let's have Paul E cutting a promo with Rick Rude on Ricky Steamboat. 2 minutes. We can stick that here. The United States Tag Team titles are not on the line for this match. Valentine and Taylor pulled through a victory. PN News nearly pinned Taylor following a power slam, but Valentine delivered an elbow and stole the victory. We changed that to be Thomas Richardson. No wait, who did we change it to? Oh, El Gigante and Big Josh. We hear some pre-tape comes from Scotty Flamingo. Flamingo is having a world tour and is going to be competing in the light heavyweight division. Scotty Flamingo debuts. Flamingo is having a world tour and is going to be competing in the light heavyweight division. So we could just do, since we know he kind of gets involved with that, Scotty Flamingo cutting a promo on Van Hammer. Scotty Flamingo, he's not a cult leader. Or narcissist. Narcissist is fine. Doop. That is all good. Put that here. Eric Bischoff tries to conduct an interview with Steve Austin. DDP hijacks the segment and says he wants to talk to Kip Fry. Paige is mad about being banned from doing interviews. Doug Dillinger comes over and tells Paige to leave. Austin says he and Sabisco will be more than happy to beat up Rhodes and Wyndham anytime. Austin discusses Tom Zenk, who is coming after the TV title. Austin thinks he's the greatest champion in WCW. Medusa then suggests Missy Hyatt has been sleeping with Jim Ross. Nice. We don't need to put in the DDP bit, I don't know what's going on there. Austin discusses, instead of Tom Zenk, who we racing with? Ivan Volkov. Perfect. Stick that here. How long do we have? We have time, man. So who's interviewing? Eric Bischoff as the interviewer. Steve Austin. Cutting a promo, and he is talking about Larry Zbyszko off screen. Medusa is there for some character development. Down Dallas Page, we'll stick him off screen because I don't know what's happening. He talks about Ivan. He talks about Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham. Perfect. Let's all stick this backstage for whatever reason. Footage from WCW Worldwide is shown. Sting took care of a jobber very quickly. The story then said that Vader coming down with a steel chair. Sting hits Vader with the chair, but it didn't hurt Vader. Oops, sorry, that was a little burp. I'm nothing but mortified. I don't know if that picked up, but I know for a fact I won't be able to find that one. Is Big Van Vader coming down with a steel chair. Sting hit Vader with a chair, but it didn't hurt Vader at all. Sting went to the top rope, but is slammed by Vader in midair. Vader follows up with a big splash off the rope. Vader leaps off the middle rope and splashes down Sting. The locker room empties as they check on Sting while Vader stands tall. Footage from WCW Worldwide. We lost Worldwide, let's go on there. Big Van Vader coming down. Shit. Coming down on Sting with a steel chair. That makes more sense when I eventually read it back. That fits. 4 minutes, Big Van Vader. We can just can't do. Taka, Sting is the victim. 3 minutes, it's a pre-taped video in the ring. Nice, stick that here. Sting is interviewed by Bischoff. Sting admits it was scary when Vader wasn't hurt by the chair. Sting tells Vader that he has some fear in his eyes, but he also sees the WCW World Champion and says that he thrives on fear. Perfect. Sting admits it was scary. This is an interview with Eric Bischoff as the interviewer and Sting cutting a promo on Vader. Forget his big van. And then the main event just kind of cuts off. Perfect. Happy with that. 70%, so would not be penalised. 92 minutes. Job's a good one. What is the issue? Z-Man's unhappy. I don't care. Let's run the show, I think. All seems fine to me. We got a WCW Saturday Night opening. Simmons defeated Hughes in a minute with a spine buster. Simmons cuts a promo regarding Sting versus Vader, saying he wishes Sting luck, but knows Sting is going to have a battle on his hands. Vader defeated Nikita Koloff in 121 with a Vader bomb. Footage from WCW Pro is shown where Steamboat choked Rude with a strap over the top rope. Van Hammer defeated Pat Rose in 47 seconds. Vader tells Sting he doesn't fear any man and doesn't feel pain. He's going to make Sting feel pain. Lionheart defeated the Z-Man in 39 seconds with a Lion Tamer. Lionheart says that he can play guitar and wrestle as well. In his opinion, Van Hammer can't do either of them, and he'll show him that in the ring. In a bout which had decent reaction from the crowd but terrible wrestling, Ivan and Bagwell defeated Rich and South in 607 when Bagwell submitted South. Footage of Rude saving dangerously and choking Steamboat with a strap, and then Steamboat turning the tables and choking Rude. An extremely short match, Billy Robinson defeats Steve Armstrong in 4:26 by submission with an abdominal stretch. Dangerously says that Ricky Steamboat is going to fall for Rude's trap. Rude notes that things don't always end up the way they are planned. Rude admits that he can't say things will come out the way he wants them to. There's another plan in place for Rude and Dangerously. An extremely short match, Valentine and Taylor defeated Gigante and Josh in 4:50 when Taylor submitted Gigante with a sharpshooter. It's very Gigante, isn't it? I'm talking about the Gigante beans, because the giant beans. Scotty Flamingo did. He didn't have a cult leader gimmick, I thought it was a narcissist. Yeah, well. Flamingo's having a world tour, and he's going to be competing in the light heavyweight division. Dustin Rhodes defeated Bob Cook in 3:42 with a Bulldog. Austin says he and Zbyszko would be more than happy to beat up Rhodes and Wyndham at any time. Austin discusses Ivan, who is coming after the TV title. Austin thinks that he is the greatest champion ever in WCW. And then Steve Austin this did bits, look at that. Steve Austin defeated Tony St. Clair, the Cinnamon, in 6:13 by submission with a Hollywood and Vine. Then get footage from WCW Worldwide of Vader coming down on Sting with a steel chair. Sting hit Vader with the chair, but it didn't hurt Vader at all. Sting went to the top rope, but was slammed by Vader in midair. Vader followed up with a big splash off the ropes. Vader leaps off the middle ropes and splashes down into Sting. The locker room empties as they check on Sting while Vader stands tall. And then, in a good match, the Steiner brothers defeated the Dangerous Alliance of Zbyszko and Eaton in 1448 when Steiner pinned Zbyszko with a Steinlizer, following botched interference by Medusa. Sting is interviewed by Bischoff. Sting admits it was scary when Vader wasn't hurt by the chair. Sting tells Vader that he has some fear in his eyes, but he also sees the WCW World Champion and says that he thrives on fear. You know, not a good show, but I do feel like it saved itself in the end. 73k, did alright. Getting some popularity back up in America. And then we have Superstars of Wrestling. Let me move all my bits. Yes, Superstars of Wrestling. Back on track. March 21st, 1992. March 21st, 1992. Hosts are Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect. This week, Ric Flair will show us more photos of Liz in action at The Undertaker, Nasty Boys, The Mountie, and more. It's like the venue we will be at. Is this a new week? No. So we'll still be in the Mid-Atlantic. At the Charleston Civic Centre. Let's close this. Bruce almost got into a fight with Mustafa after he caused some damage to his rental car. Appa's been passing on tips to Fatty. Louis Spicolli hit out some power ballads. Nice, all that done. So the first, we just need our open WWF Super Stars of Wrestling opening. I don't know if I'm ever going to use like this side of it. The hype, pre-taped, video. Oh, I can't get comfortable on this chair. Bobby, Hogan, Jake, Savage. What like a lineup this is. Stars. Everyone looks more or less the same. Has Liz's popularity just been rising and rising? So now on 72. Yeah, but not by much. Scoop, let's book a segment. Ugh. So our opening match is Duggan and Slaughter defeating Bob and Brad Avery. Superstars of Wrestling. That's our A show. What's the main event? Undertaker defeating Lee Thomas. Yeah. We can book this match, but I'm not sure. We might change it. So Sergeant Slaughter and Face Men. Instead of Duggan, should we do Owen gets a match? The Mountie and Nasty Boys, Tatanka and The Undertaker. Let's do Slaughter and Bulldog against heel men. We can do Kato and Tanaka again. The Orient Express finally returns. 5 minutes, stick Bulldog over. Perfect. Vince asks Perfect what he's trying to do with those pictures, but Perfect switches focus and says that he heard that WrestleMania might be Hulk Hogan's last match. We got the WWF special report with Gene Oakland. We see Oakland on Ric Flair's yacht. Flair and Perfect are inside as Oakland is impressed. Oakland tells Flair that Savage denied the Flair-Elizabeth relationship. Flair shows us more photos with Mr. Perfect cracking jokes. Flair then tells Savage in 2 weeks he'll be damaged goods just like Liz. Flair says he'll dump Savage like he did with Liz and that the two deserve each other. Nice. Flair and Perfect do seem to be doing very good jobs of being terrible people. Yeah, that works. 4 minutes. Let's have Ric Flair cutting a promo with Mr. Perfect Gene as the interviewer on Miss Elizabeth. And the Snatcho Man, Randy Havage. It's a pre-taped video outside broadcast. Nice. Got Owen Hart against Doug Summers. Vince calls out perfect for damages Liz's reputation. There is a picture-in-picture story, like picture-in-picture. Yeah, picture-in-picture interview, but it's just Skinner talking about WrestleMania. Instead, we could do a 2v2. Let's have Owen and Jim against heel dudes. We could do Adnan and Mustafa. 5 minutes. Stick Owen over. We then have the Mountie and the Nasty Boys against Dale Wolf, Bill Woods and Scott Summers. No picture-in-picture there. We can insert some storylines that we need to. Team. Who do we have? Nasty Boys. So the Mountie and the Nasty Boys against Face, Single. Let's do Butch, Luke, and Coco. 7 minutes. Stick the Mountie over. We then see footage from last week with Sid Justice attacking Virgil and breaking his nose. So Sid cutting a promo. Freddie Blassie cutting a promo. Let's have Virgil. Just some character development, I guess. And Hulk Hogan off screen. Gene Okerlund welcomes Hulk Hogan to the interview platform. Hogan says that this WrestleMania is different than any other before. He puts over Sid's ice-cold look, and now we had to watch lots of footage to realise that he's just like Jeffrey Dahmer and Charles Manson. Hogan then warns us what could happen if Sid attacked Beefcake. This closes with Hogan telling Sid that he rules WrestleMania and vows to show Sid the power of Hulkamania. So there seems to be some rumours going around with this on. That this could be Hogan's last match, which I think it's a rumour that's been spread to just hype up interest for WrestleMania. But I don't think it's something that we necessarily need to do. Gene is the interviewer. Hulk cutting a promo on Sid. And we can stick Brother Bruty as some character development. Improvised. Rick Martel defeats Robbie Sampson from Primetime Wrestling. Tatanka runs out the ring for his match, but sees Martel raking fun at the red stripe in his hair and threatens to use his arrogance, which leads to Tatanka beating him up until several referees break things up. Is that a storyline that's on? Tatanka Buffalo? Yep. Yeah, I'm happy to put that as a thing. We do T. We're showing his hair. Perfect. Is it Tuesday? Or is it Monday? It's Monday. Tatanka and Rick Martel just stick on character development. Perfect. Tatanka then gets a quick squash match. Tatanka can go over heel, dudes, Repo Man. Oh, they have awful chemistry. Skinner. It's a match I've definitely done. Yeah. We can do it again. 1 minute. Tatanka goes over. We then get the WrestleMania 8 report with Gene Okerlund, who once again learned that Reba McEntire will sing the national anthem. Instead, we can just make this a 4-minute hype pre-taped video. Stick everyone in. Imagine if this was the roster. Like, this is someone just, like, running WWF and just hiring whoever they want. Book. Perfect. Improvised. This seems to weirdly be lagging now. Honestly, I don't understand why. When The Undertaker defeats Lee Thompson, Jake Roberts is shown in an inside promo. Oh, sorry, The Undertaker. Jake Roberts is shown in an inside promo warning Jake of what will happen to him in WrestleMania. I don't know if that's true. Sorry. Just a little tap. Big stretch. Alright. Let's put the Undertaker or heel male and put him over the Repo Man in a singular minute. Boop. The Undertaker. Then we can do a little angle. Jake Roberts is shown an insert promo warning Taker of what will happen to him at WrestleMania. 3 minutes. Jake Roberts cutting a promo with The Undertaker and Paul Bearer on character development since they're in the ring. Let's end with a 2v2. Let's have faces, Hogan. We could do Hogan and Savage, why not? Hogan and Hart against heels. Ted against IRS. That could be fine. Yeah, that's fine. 15 minutes. Hogan can go over IRS. It's a intentional DQ finish. At ringside, we can stick Roddy Piper. There he is. I guess make this storytelling. Oh no, the title still need to be on the line. Angle. Hogan and Brett celebrate together. Piper comes out, but Hogan gets the two of them to shake hands, making this storyline all about Hogan. Let's just do Hulk, put a promo, Brett, Roddy. Improvised, 3 minutes. Nice. Let's squeeze a couple of matches in. Let's do a 3v3. We can do Kevin, Kerry, and Marty against heels. Let's get Ray Stevens, Maniac Mark, and Haku. Like I said, I'm happy to start getting some of the people I actually want to push, like Ray Stevens, and just pushing the 56-year-old in track progress. He's getting more popular. The 56-year-old, Haku's 33, Mark Lewin 54. How's his popularity doing? It has jumped up there, to be fair. We can stick Kevin over. We had a bunch of angles down here, didn't we? Yeah. We can have a 2v2 of Dynamite Kid and heel male. Who else has kind of been a bit of a baddie? Do you have Dynamite and Sid against just face? I don't know what I'm doing. Men. Crush and Volkov. Volkov and Snooker. That seems more like a team to me. 3 minutes. Stick Dynamite over. Job is a good one. Stick it like here. Ooh, match there. Do we all have an extra angle? No. We can squeeze one in there, just WrestleMania advert. 3 minutes. Height, rotate, video. Let's stick everyone in again. Let's book segment. Oh, this is always unhappy, isn't he? Alright, all is good. Let's move this down to that match just here. Everything else looks fine to me. 65% matches. We're at 64, 94 minutes. Let's run the show. WWF Superstars of Wrestling opening. Everything gained heat there. That was a great show. Ted DiBiase invented a new catchphrase. Looked by the looks of it, no one did a bad job there. An extremely short match, Slaughter and Bulldog defeated Kato and Tanaka when Bulldog pinned Kato with a running power slam. We got a special report. We see Oakland on Ric Flair's yacht. Oakland tells Flair that Savage denied the Flair-Liz relationship. Flair says he'll dump Savage like he did with Liz and that the two deserve each other. An extremely short match, the New Foundation defeated Adnan and Mustafa when Hart submitted Adnan, the sharpshooter. Got a WrestleMania advert. Sid struggled in that one. Butch suffered a badly herniated spinal disc wrestling the Mountie and the Nasty Boys when the Mountie submitted Butch with a Quebec crab. We see footage from last week where Sid Vicious attacked Virgil and broke his nose. Marty Jannetty and the Von Erichs defeated Haku, Lewin and Stevens when Kevin Von Erich submitted Mark Lewin with the Iron Claw. Gene Oakland welcomes Hulk Hogan to the interview platform. Hogan says that WrestleMania is different than any other before. He puts over Sid's ice-cold look and how he had watched a lot of footage to realise that he's demented like Dahmer or Manson. Hogan tells Sid that he rules WrestleMania and vows to show Sid the power of Hulkamania. Dynamite Kid and Sid defeat Snooker and Volkov when Kid pins Snooker with a diving headbutt. Tatanka runs out for his match but sees Martel making fun of the red stripe in his hair and threatening to use his arrogance, and that leads to Tatanka beating him up until several referees break things up. After that, an extremely short match, Tatanka defeated Skinner in 36 seconds with an Indian death drop. Got a WrestleMania 8 report with Gene Oakland. The Undertaker defeated the Repo Man in 121 with a tombstone. Jake Roberts is shown in an insert promo warning Taker of what will happen to him at Mania. And then in our main event, Hogan and Brett defeated Money Inc. when IRS intentionally got disqualified while fighting Hulk. Hogan and Brett celebrate together. Piper comes out, but Hogan gets the two of them to shake hands. Nice, 76, that's what we needed. Out for 395 days, that's fine. Made 202,000, filling up in Mexico. Got me thinking there, got me thinking what it was. JT Southern retires in 92. So like this isn't going to be like very long for this Lionheart little feud. So we have WCW, what's the crack? All Japan, there we go. Was I rather not fighting for him? Alright, that confused me. I was like, Jesus, it looks like that's gonna crash the game. Alright, Butch is sidelined. Bart Gunn and Axe won a title. Scott Armstrong now resides in Kanto. Terry Funk in the Mid-South. Nikita thinks Van Hammer doesn't get it. Look. as he's already waiting for... Oh! It's fine. King Kahlua, yeah, complete signing. So what are they offering him? Ted DiBiase has a new catchphrase. That'll sell t-shirts. Butch got a badly aided herniated disc and it's going to be out for a year. We just got absences. So we just performed surgery. Complications arose, so it's gone from 394 days to 471. Look, I didn't think he was going to be wrestling again afterwards. I thought we were either going to get a miracle from surgery or he won't wrestle again. And it looks like he's not going to wrestle again. Shame, but like, eh? So, what are we on? Main event. Main event, what do we have for that? 322? 322. We have 3 matches. Give the night off. Nah. Select venue. We're still on Sunday. So we're in New England. Got a locker room instance. Sonny Trout has a creative finish. Jimmy Garvin has an idea for his character. Arn ran some drills. Pillman pulled a classic riff on Bagwell. Art Barr and Ricky Morton did some nice duets. Cactus Jack and Robert Gibson did some nice duets. Nice, nice. Let's get this out onto a tray. So the matches we have is Dustin and Wyndham defeating Brad and Bart Batten, with Rhodes scoring the pin with a bulldog. So it seems from like at least the next 2 versions we start to get more angles again, it looks like, which would be nice. I don't know why these ones are suddenly cut down of like there's these matches, that is all, or worse, nothing at all. So Wyndham and Rhodes beats heels, Menzies. They can beat Rip and Rose. Nice 3-minute. Stick Wyndham over. Let's just add a quick WCW main event opening. Hype. Pre-taped video. Put the major stars in. Steamboat and Sting. Stars and Dustin Harley. I was hoping Vader might have made his way up to here. That's fine. We have Ron Simmons pinning Steve Armstrong in 412. Where is he? Has Ron made his way up to well known? He has, but Vader hasn't. Against heel dudes, he can beat, I don't know, Thomas Rich. Stick Simmons over. We have Zenk defeating Greg Valentine, but instead we can probably just do Marcus defeating Greg. Marcus. First name basis with him. 6 minutes. Stick Bagwell over. I would like to also do a Vader victory over face. They can defeat Gibson. Make it 6 minutes. Stick Vader over. Let's add in. We'll auto book an angle featuring recognizable. Interview Lance Russell. Who's Lance Russell? No, Lance Russell. I mean, he can be the interviewer. Interview with Vader and Harley Race. So big van. We cut the promo and so can Harley on Sting screen. Nice. Let's auto book another angle. This will be Tully Blanchard, won't it? Interview with Diamond Dallas Page. Interview with Lionheart on Van Hammer. So let's do Lionheart putting a promo on Van Hammer off screen. We can also have Scotty Flamingo on character development. Diamond Dallas Page cameo. Why not? Add an angle. Stars and major stars. Nope, no one. Book an angle. Stars. Nope. Alright, well no. Interview with the Fabulous Freebirds. That is fine with me. They can cut it on Scott Steiner off screen and Rick Steiner. We can also have Lance Russell as the interviewer. Auto booker another angle if you don't mind. Interview with Terry and Dory Funk. They can cut it on Dory Funk, putting a promo. Oh, he's unavailable. Yeah, that's fine. He can cut it on King Kalua, Colonel De Beers and Al Madril. 4 minutes. Nice. And then finally, let's do a 3v3. Let's have heels. Dick. What did you call me? Orndorff and Blanchard against faces. Bossman, Trout, and Max. How long do we need? 9 minutes? And let's stick Tully over. Boop, bap, scoot. Nice. Let's run it. So we've got the main event opening. An extremely short match. Wyndham and Rhodes defeated Rip and Rose when Wyndham pinned Rogers with a superplex. Interview with Vader and Harley. Simmons defeated Thomas Rich in 3:45 at Spinebuster. Interview with Lionheart and Van Hammer. Bagwell defeated Greg Valentine. Interview with the Freebirds. Vader defeated Gibson in 6:28. That match did alright, I expected better. Interview with the Funkers, that did class. And then an about which had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling. Murdoch, Orndorff and Tully defeated Bossman, Trout and Mags. When Tully pinned Bossman with a slingshot suplex. Financial report, lost 5k, fair enough, not our most popular region. And I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for watching. Sorry this one was a little bit all over the place. Next time I'll hope to not get a phone call. Stay safe, look after yourself.